What's up guys, welcome back to SP Vids, and as you can see today I've got the Dr. Sample SP303 out made by Boss, and I just wanted to talk about why this spends a lot of time on the shelf and not very much time actually making beats. And just quickly before I start, I want to remind you guys that membership for this channel is now officially open. If you look below the video there is a join button. If you press that button you can have a look at all the features you get for being a member. It helps support me and you guys get a little bit of extra something in return. So if you are interested in that, I'd really appreciate the support right now. A couple of people that have already signed up, thank you very much for that, I appreciate it massively. And yeah, if you're interested, hit that join button and you can see what it's all about. So on with the SP303, why doesn't this unit make it off my shelf very often? Now this is kind of me just doing a bit of thinking out loud and trying to understand why this unit doesn't really make it into my workflow. And there are a few reasons which I'm going to go into now. Obviously before I start this, I want to say that these are all opinions obviously of mine, and you guys might have different opinions about this box. More than happy to hear your thoughts in the comments as well, so if you want to watch the video, see what you think and then leave some comments below, maybe you can persuade me that this needs to be used more often. So the first reason I think this doesn't come off the shelf very often is the 8 pads per bank. I find that very restrictive on the 303. I like to have enough pads that I can have samples, drums and Foley's etc and textures. So if you can imagine here, if I had 5, 6, 7 with my drums, that only leaves me 4 or 5 pads for samples. Then I've got to get a texture on there, Foley's, stuff I want over the top. So realistically speaking, there's just not enough room on a bank. I would have to use more than one bank. And because of the way that I make beats with resampling the beat, it's going to get tricky working on different banks. I don't like that. When I make a beat, I like it to all be in one bank and then I move to another bank and make another beat. That's my workflow that's actually come from the SX. And when you go from the SX down to this, you do kind of feel like you've just had 4 buttons taken away from you. So that's definitely the first reason why this doesn't make it out very often. Now the second major reason I think really is because the SX has done such a good job of following this box. So the 404, I don't actually know anything about that. I mean, I know how it operates, I know how it works, but I've never owned one or touched one. So I can't comment about that, but the SX, because I own that, have to say that there's very little reason to actually use the 303. Now, I know you guys are probably screaming at me, the effects on this thing are killer, and I will get onto that as well, because I will outline some positives of this unit as well. But because of the additional memory and because of the speed of the SX, I think it's too much of a sacrifice to make to use this unit just to get a little bit of extra butter on the effects and that kind of thing. So the third issue with this, which I just touched on briefly then, is the memory. Obviously the SX is an incredible device for the memory that you get with it. The SD card, which can go up to 32 gigabytes, is more than enough storage that you'll need, and it's fast as well. The memory cards in this old unit are the old smart media cards, I think they're called. Yeah, smart media. So that's 16 megabytes of storage, which isn't much at all. Obviously you get the internal storage as well, which is nice, but yeah, in terms of this unit, you're not really getting the storage that you need to make multiple beats. You kind of have to stick to one beat at a time with this. And yeah, because of the bank issue as well, I feel that this is probably more aimed at making beats with the pattern sequencer, which I do actually need to try, to be fair. I mean, I haven't ever touched the pattern sequencer on this, so maybe there is some merit in that. But generally speaking, yeah, the memory on this is very poor, and it does become a bit of an issue when you're trying to have a kind of beat making session. You just want to power through and keep making beats, but you can't really do that with this box. It's quite a destructive unit to use. So yeah, moving on to the effects, I know that the vinyl sim compressor, which is the right dial, sorry, it's the left dial. When you use the vinyl sim, if you look at the left dial, it has CNP. Well, obviously they can't do CMP, so that is the compressor. And people swear by this for its compression. I think it's got a nice vibe to it, but I don't think it's good enough to warrant having it out on its own, if that makes sense. So the compressor on the 404SX, I actually really like the sound of that. I know that people will probably say the vinyl sim compression on this is better, but that to me is not worth getting out of this unit just for the compression. Now on top of that, the isolator on this is actually really nice, and I do love the isolator on the SP303. So there is a few effects on this box which are good, and that sort of leads me on to my point of saying this would be an excellent companion to another SP with more memory, i.e. the SX or the A, because you can utilize the effects that are in it, which are nice. but you're gonna need another unit that's got a bit more storage and a bit more speed to it as well. So I think in a chain with this first and the SX second, that could be really powerful in terms of being able to use the vinyl sim, the isolator. Those two effects to me are the ones that really stand out for this unit as being extra buttery compared to the SX. So if you have got another unit, this is definitely a box that's worth looking at. But as a main beat making tool, I don't think this is that great. So that's, again, one of the reasons why this probably doesn't make it off the shelf that often, is because as a standalone unit for making beats, it does leave you wanting when you've got an SX sat next to it, when you think, well, that's got more storage, it's faster, there's more pads in each bank, there's more banks as well. So yeah, there's a lot of limitations with this device. So yeah, I'll just quickly show you actually that that isolator and why I like it so much. So this is just a little thing that I sampled in. This is the isolator. And yeah, I just feel that's got another level of smoothness to it compared to the isolator on the SX. It could all just be in my head that, but I do genuinely feel that has got a better vibe to that isolator. So yeah, by no means trying to ruin this for anyone. The SP303 has got its positive points, and I'm going to be doing more content around it soon to try and force myself to use it more, if nothing else. And I will talk about some of the good points. I think one of the best points about this box, which I haven't even looked at yet, even though I'm aware of it, is that you can resample with a signal coming into the box and add pads and whatever you want to do onto a new pad. I hope that makes sense. So there's a signal coming in, say it's your chops. Let's just say you've recorded them out to Ableton, done some processing. You can have those coming into the box, resample and play the drums over the top onto a new pad. Now that's really, really powerful. So I do need to look into that and look at how I can utilize that in a workflow. And yeah, like I said, the effects are quite nice as well, some of them. So yeah, there are positive points about this. I'm not out to just completely disregard the SP303. I'm actually just trying to think about why I don't use it that much and sort of find some reasons to start using it. So for you guys out there that have got an SP303 as your main weapon, please let me know what sort of processes you use, what workflows you use. I'd love to hear in the comments below, and maybe that can give me a little bit of inspiration to start using this unit. So that's all I wanted to talk about today, guys, was just a bit of thinking out loud about why this doesn't make it off my shelf very often. And yeah, I'm going to be making every effort to try and get this on the channel more often, because I appreciate you guys hardly see this unit, to be honest. So I will be making more effort to find cool features and tricks and hacks that I can share with you guys. I know there's a lot of you 303 heads out there. And yeah, like I said, if you've got any tips of your own or workflow tips that may make me change my mind about this box and make me want to have it out more, then please let me know about those as well. Again, if you are interested in becoming a member, I'd really appreciate that. Hit that join button. And also, if you're new around here, hit that subscribe button as well, as I do lo-fi related content every week. Usually centered around hardware, but I'm doing software stuff as well now. And yeah, I hope you like the format of this video. I realise it's a bit chatty, but hopefully if you're looking to pick up a 303, maybe it has some interesting content in here for you to think about. Thanks again for watching, guys. I will be back very soon with more content. Keep making beats. Peace!